Never fetch water alone. It was a moonless night when Sister Maria felt the sudden urge to fetch water from the old monastery well. The air was heavy and cold, the halls echoing with every step she took. Her candle flickered weakly, struggling against an invisible breeze. Shadows danced across the walls, forming strange shapes that seemed to reach out for her. She tried to steady her breathing, whispering prayers under her breath. "It's just the wind. It's only my imagination," she repeated to herself. But deep down, she felt an unsettling presence watching her every move. As she approached, the creaking of the old pulley echoed into the night like a scream. The well stood alone in the courtyard, old and covered with moss, as if it had been waiting for her. The moon hid behind thick clouds, leaving her in a chilling darkness. She hesitated, looking over her shoulder, feeling the weight of unseen eyes. When she finally lowered the bucket, she felt the rope vibrate as if something below had grabbed it. Her hands trembled, her heart pounded so loudly she thought it might explode. She leaned forward to peer into the darkness of the well. Her candle went out, and she was swallowed by the darkness. She stepped back, clutching her chest, trying to convince herself it was just the wind. The water below seemed endless, reflecting faint moonlight like a deep black eye staring back at her. Suddenly, she heard a faint whisper, "Maria." It drifted up from the depths, distant and hollow. But then, the whisper came again, louder. "Maria, help me." Frozen in fear, she dropped the rope. The bucket crashed into the water with a loud splash. She could barely see, but she felt something cold brush past her neck like icy fingers. Her mind screamed at her to move, but her body refused. She turned sharply. The voice whispered again, this time right next to her ear. She could feel its cold breath on her skin. In the darkness, two glowing eyes stared at her from the corridor. She stumbled, crawling on the cold, wet ground, her hands scraping against the stone. A figure slowly emerged, pale and grinning, dressed in a dark habit, but twisted and demonic. Its face was thin and ghostly, with a cruel smile that spread too wide to be human. Sister Maria tried to run, but her legs felt heavy, as if the shadows themselves were holding her down. Behind her, the figure moved closer, each step echoing like thunder. Her mouth opened to scream, but no sound came out. The demon was right there, its face inches from hers, its eyes empty and endless. She looked back and saw its hands reaching for her, long and bony fingers twitching with hunger. Never fetch water alone. With a final burst of strength, she pushed herself up and ran blindly through the hallway. Her heartbeat deafening in her ears. Doors slammed shut on either side, candles flickered and went out, leaving her in total darkness. The laughter of the demon echoed all around her, surrounding her, growing louder and louder until it became an unbearable roar. She reached a small prayer room and slammed the door behind her, sinking to the ground and clutching her rosary. She rocked back and forth, whispering prayers desperately. But the whispers didn't stop. They seeped through the walls, whispering her name, calling her to open the door. She felt a cold hand slide over her shoulder. Slowly, she turned her head. A deafening silence filled the room as she stared into its gaze. Her eyes filled with tears as the demon leaned in closer, whispering one last time, "Never fetch water alone." Then, darkness swallowed her completely. The hallway fell silent once more. The old well sat still in the courtyard, as if nothing had happened. A final whisper echoes through the night, "Never fetch water." Alone, the screen fades to black, and only the faint sound of dripping water remains.